She's like, I just want to make it clear. I'm married. Right here. Married. Not to her. No, no. All of that, that's a thing in the past. Let's establish that. That was just funny. Let's leave it at that.
As the sun came up through the window, Kody Brown drank tea in the soft light of her Salt Lake City kitchen. For the first time in many years, the quiet felt peaceful, but she had learned that calm always comes after a big storm. Kody had been quiet for so long. The TV show Sister Wives caught the fights and weird looks across the dinner table on camera. But the real story was way more complicated than what TLC ever showed. It wasn't about being jealous. It wasn't about having many marriages. It was about not being wanted. In a quiet, sad voice, Kody would later tell a podcast, "It's not that we stopped being close. The problem is that it was never really there, not the way you think, not how love should be." She remembered the early days, the nervous waiting, the hopeful nights, and believing that a spiritual marriage would grow into love and working together. But Kody Brown had stayed distant and busy. Even when they were younger, his love came and went. His attention was split up. Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. That separation got worse when Robin joined the family years ago. Kody had stopped asking for connection. The rejection hurt too much for her. Not because she didn't need it. He no longer came to my room. He gave up trying. He said that I wasn't acting like a good sister wife when I asked why. Something inside of me was broken by that. The rejection didn't just hurt her feelings, it destroyed how she felt about herself. After decades of loyalty and countless sacrifices, she had given him 6 children, she said. I didn't leave Kody for another man. I realized I was all alone in a full house, so I left. The people came together to support Kody. Social media was filled with nice comments. They're all betraying me, he growled in an unreleased confession video. Kody is lying about our relationship. Janelle is trying to turn the children against me. Mary's just waiting for a book deal to come up. My money is what they want. This is exactly what it is. Kody's paranoia started to creep in. According to TLC executives, he began to refuse filming sessions unless they showed him in a good light. He reportedly threatened to sue the network if his story was twisted. He wanted more control over editing and asked the ex-wives to do fewer interviews. He began accusing Kody of planning a public attack campaign. He even went so far as to say that she had money reasons. She is trying to hurt my reputation. Because she has a new boyfriend, she wants pity, he yelled. She wants to make money from being a victim. In reality, though, Kody was falling apart. His world, which had been carefully built around his control and the appearance of harmony, was crumbling. Even worse, he was no longer able to stop it. Kody was no longer the only one who spoke up. Mary and Janelle broke their long silence by going live on social media together. In a bold move that nobody saw coming, coffee mugs in hand, they were sitting in the Arizona sun on Janelle's patio. The energy was huge, but their faces were calm. Janelle started, "We stayed quiet for years. But now Kody says we're after his money. It's a joke." Everything was filtered through Robin by him. Mary nodded. "To support the family's vision, I gave up 10 years of financial independence. Now he complains that we're trying to take what little he has left and I'm starting over." The real punch then came. Janelle pulled out a thick stack of photocopies in a manila folder. "These are the Coyote Pass property titles. Kody, would you like to talk about money? Let's talk about how you currently only own one of those plots." The video went viral. Every sentence and every legal line was studied by supporters and fans. The truth was out. Robin was the main person who got Kody's asset transfers, which left his other wives with almost nothing. Now, however, he was accusing them of wanting what he had already taken in the face of responsibility. Robin Brown sat in the center of the storm. She felt alone, nervous, and choked by her own silence. She was the last piece of Kody's vision. Of a spiritual kingdom that was pretending to be multiple marriage but was really just one marriage. She had been the favorite wife and the legal wife before. Now, though, in a collapsed empire, she was the last surviving wife. Robin apparently started to lose it off camera. She was crying between parts, according to crew workers. She asked executives whether her confession moments could be reshot or softened. She cried during one session. "This isn't what I signed up for." He is obsessed with them, not with love, but with control, with proving they're wrong. Robin had begun to keep her own financial records in private. There were rumors that she had found other hidden accounts that Kody had created and used to move funds without her knowing. According to reports, she told a family friend, "I don't know who he is anymore. He ignores what I have to say. I'm invisible to him. He just gets angry." Robin started thinking about what life might be like without Kody for the first time in years. But she knew that she was the last thing keeping him from going broke, because she was the legal wife. He knew it too. Christine's life grew while Kody's world broke apart. Christine married David Woolley, a construction businessman she had been quietly dating for more than a year, in a beautiful private wedding in Utah. Truly, who walked her mother down the aisle, was one of the 6 of her children there. Janelle sat in the front. Mary wrote a letter by hand. Even Michael T. and Aspen shared their feelings about how it felt to see their mother loved and cherished at last. No cameras, not a producer, only family and healing. After the wedding, Christine told People magazine, "I waited years for someone to truly choose me. Don't put up with me, don't share me, pick me." Christine paused when asked about Kody's comments on betrayal, money, and manipulation. Then she smiled. "The money is his to keep. I keep my honor." Sister Wives' 20th season will be the show's last, with Kody Brown as the main character. According to TLC insiders, the show is changing its name to highlight the ex-wives' healing processes, including Christine's second marriage, Janelle's self-reliance, Mary's business empire, and even the children growing up. What about Kody? He is still in Flagstaff. Bitter, lonely, and frantically trying to control a story that has already escaped his grasp. In one of his last confessions, he said, "They were never sister wives. They were rebels, and the truth was only visible to me." A testament to broken promises, the Flagstaff house stood empty with money scattered all over the table. Kody Brown sat on the edge of his huge couch and muttered to himself. Robyn had spent the weekend with her sister. Not on vacation, but just to give them some space, he snarled. "I gave them everything. They stole everything, and I'm the bad guy now." A new letter from TLC caught his attention. It was cold and formal. They were renegotiating his contract. Kody will no longer have his own storyline. The focus had changed, and there were no more patriarch moments. A new film with the working title Sister Wives, Reclaimed, was being approached for Christine, Janelle, and even Mary. The paper was torn in half by him. Then in quarters, Robyn came home Sunday night to find Kody asleep on the couch. A half-finished bottle of wine was open on the counter and unpaid property. Tax bills were scattered all over the floor. She had come home to that scene 4 times in the last 2 weeks, but she didn't clean up this time. Instead, she unlocked a drawer at her home office. Files she had hidden were found there, including property deeds, records from their joint accounts, and a letter from her lawyer friend whom she had quietly talked to 2 weeks before. The records were devastating. Kody had started moving funds from Robyn's legal trust account to a personal, limited liability company LLC that he had set up under a fake identity. "What's the name?" "C. Brown Holdings." For a few minutes, Robyn sat still, her stomach tightened, and her breathing was shallow. She muttered out loud, "He's not protecting us. He is protecting himself." Kody barely looked at her when she came to him later that evening. "I have to," he whispered. "After that new show airs, do you think Christine and Janelle won't sue me? You have no idea what these women are thinking. They are wolves disguised as women." But Robyn's voice shook as she answered. "Scared? They are not the ones who lie to their spouses." Janelle Brown, meanwhile, was doing very well. She had left the trailer she had lived in at Coyote Pass for a comfortable modern townhouse in St. George, Utah. She started Desert Roots Wellness, a women's health coaching company that focuses on independence, mental toughness, and ending toxic relationships. With the help of her daughter Maddie and son Gabriel, the business took off online in just 3 months. Her From Sister Wife to Self Wife TikTok series got over 3 million fans. But Janelle's posting of a video titled "The Truth About Our Finances" was the real surprise. "Kody made choices without asking us. Robyn didn't challenge them, and we paid the cost," she said firmly. "We now have the chance to get back not only the money that was taken, but also our freedom." Janelle's openness touched a cultural nerve. She got invitations to talk shows during the day, podcasts, conferences for women. She was writing a book about recovering from spiritual betrayal, not about Kody. Mary had been the quiet one for a long time, but not anymore. She wore a simple teal outfit, spoke calmly, and sat across from a therapist in a gorgeous Sedona resort during the premiere of Sister Wives, Reclaimed. "I believed that God would reward me for staying strong, so I stayed. But that isn't faith. That's fear." Months in advance. Her new business, a women's empowerment B&B resort in Utah called the Lotus Inn, was completely booked. Her honesty, gentle wisdom, and ability to sit with sadness and not turn away were all praised in reviews. Mary shared that she had made up with Christine and Janelle after having private conversations with them. But when she read a letter she had never sent in episode 2, it was the most powerful moment. "Hello, Kody. I forgive you, but I'm not going back. What you gave us was control, dressed in scripture, not love. You never really saw me, and I've come to terms with that. Now I see myself. That's enough. TLC executives made a bold choice as the Sister Wives universe grew. Kody and Robin would be the final main stars in season 20. Instead, Mary, Janelle, and Christine would host their own documentary series, Sister Wives, Reclaimed from Broken Faith to Fierce Freedom. Following their divorce, the show would follow their lives, including Mary's retreat center, Janelle's business empire, and Christine's blended family with David. TLC executives privately said that Kody had become a problem. Filming was impossible due to his unpredictable behavior, threats of legal action, and growing contempt for production. Kody exploded when he learned about the change. The legacy I created is being destroyed. Even Robin had stopped standing up for him by that point, though. In the last scene in the teaser for the new series, Christine is shown holding her granddaughter on her hip while standing in her garden wearing a flowing dress. She gives the camera a quiet smile. During all those years, people ask me if I regret it. I don't. Since they brought me here to this peace, to this joy, and if one woman is able to leave a man who makes her feel bad because she speaks up, then it was worth every tear I cried. For Kody Brown is reportedly trying to sell his own redemption show, but no networks are interested. He is currently living off residuals. Robin Brown is reportedly considering a divorce and has quietly hired her own lawyer. Mary, Janelle, and Christine are all living strong, independent lives that are at last being recognized and freed. When Christine's phone buzzed, it was a name she hadn't seen in months. She was finishing up an early evening Zoom with TLC producers Robin Brown. Christine's breath caught as she looked at the TV. She trusted her instincts, but kindness and curiosity won out. She pressed open. "Hey, Christine, I understand that you probably don't want to hear from me, but I need to talk to someone who can relate. Don't tell Kody, please." A voice memo was attached. Christine paused, then pressed play. Robin didn't sound like the strong lady she remembered. Her voice was weak and thin. "I believed I had been chosen. I believed that he loved me more than he loved you. I was wrong. He's lost. Angry when he feels surrounded, he becomes dangerous. Don't let him take everything away from you, please. He has plans involving that new LLC. He's not who he used to be." After the audio ended, Christine sat still for a long time. Not in victory, not to get revenge, but in heartache. Because Robin was still looking for permission to wake up. Even now, only a few weeks before Sister Wives Reclaimed's premiere, Kody Brown made his last desperate effort. He formally sued TLC and Discovery Plus after hiring a combative entertainment lawyer in Phoenix. He claimed character slander and contract violation. His image was used without permission to promote the ex-wife's spin dash-off the complaint sought. A public retraction of comments, he said, were scripted by producers to make him look bad, as well as $10 million in damages. The reaction of the network? With prejudice. They asked for dismissal. According to TLC internal documents that were leaked by a production assistant, Kody had willingly agreed to appearance waivers and had received hefty payment for doing so throughout the years. One legal representative joked, "You can't be the victim and the executive producer at the same time." TLC had already started working on a comprehensive legal defense behind the scenes, including dozens of hours of unused video that showed Kody's tantrums, threats about money, and emotional manipulation. They even threatened to show the video in court. Kody was shocked. He had believed that he was invincible at last, but the network had stopped protecting him when Leon Brown, once known to fans as Mariah, announced a book contract with a major publisher. It sent shockwaves through the industry. What is the title of the book? Unraveled: Growing Up Brown in a World Built on Secrets. Leon wrote the following in the explosive passage that The Cut published. "People only saw half the truth on TV. What scared us were the real things. The icy silences, the punishments for disobedience, and the way our dreams were filtered through a father's will. I saw my mom beg for love. I saw Christine surrender her body to a man who never noticed her spirit. I saw Janelle turn invisible in order to survive. I also stayed silent for too long." Kody threatened to sue Leon and the publisher to try to stop the publication, but Leon's attorneys wrote back in a damning open letter. The truth is not under Kody Brown's control. All he fears is it in public statements. Christine and Janelle expressed their support for Leon, saying that they were proud beyond words and standing behind them in truth and courage. Surprisingly, Robin even liked the post. The Coyote Pass hearing followed due to public interest. Arizona media. Unplanned but meaningful. Janelle, Mary, and Christine showed up wearing white tops, denim, and calm expressions. They were prepared. Kody came by himself, according to the argument put up by his legal team. The women had given up interest in the land and were thus not entitled to any portion of its future worth. But the blow was delivered by Christine's lawyer, who was sharp, straightforward, and fearless. "Your Honor, we have emails, texts, and even production documents that show Kody promised equal ownership, then did it behind their backs by manipulating titles and using shell transfers. When a recording of a phone conversation between Robin and Kody was played, the courtroom gasped. "The others cannot touch the land if I put it in your name. We now own it. Let them cry." The judge was clearly shocked in the final decision. Back payments and partial ownership rights were granted to Janelle and Christine. Robin was told to make financial records available. Kody got a fine for making false transfers. Christine was spotted crying quietly following the judgment, not with hate but because, at last, justice had arrived. TLC approved a 2-part program immediately following the new series finale. The Brown Family Reckoning will premiere. It includes court transcripts, unreleased video, and heartfelt reunion. Interviews including a long-awaited meeting between Christine and Robin. In the meantime, a family YouTube channel about blended families and healing has been started by Christine and David. Janelle is making an investment in a single mother's land cooperative. The National Domestic Empowerment Summit has invited Mary to speak. A documentary is being made based on Leon's book. Insiders say that Robin is getting ready to leave Flagstaff permanently, with fewer supporters, fewer resources, and more bridges burned. Kody is now a very alone person. Sister Wives reclaimed final scene softly fades in. In Utah, Christine, Janelle, and Mary are seated on a porch swing. A sunset lights up the red sandstone. Mountains behind them, people are laughing. T, not a man, not a script, just peace. Christine's gaze is fixed on the camera. "We believed that heartbreak was the end of our story, but it didn't stop there. It was only the beginning." It might look into Robin leaving Kody. Leon's documentary addresses trauma experienced as a child. Kody's public decline and desperation podcast. An unexpected announcement of a TLC relaunch that only includes the kids. And there's more. Sister Wives star Kody Brown was honest about the reasons for the failure of his marriages to Christine Brown, Janelle Brown, and Mary Brown. He was only in a relationship with Robin Brown, his only surviving wife. After his first 3 marriages ended between 2021 and 2023, Kody is currently focusing on getting over his 3 divorces and moving on with his life. Kody came to the realization that he no longer wanted to pursue polygamy in Sister Wives. Season 19. Robin, however, said that if there were promises of future success, she would be open to trying polygamy once more. Janelle Brown is addressing her sex life. The TLC star addressed rumors about her sexual orientation almost 3 years after splitting from Kody Brown, telling Sister Wives, "I promise you I'm not asexual," said host Sukanya Krishnan on the June 15th episode. Janelle said, "Everyone has this idea that I was asexual just because I didn't want to have assembly line kisses with Kody or whatever. It's so wild to me that everybody has assumed." The 56-year-old continued by saying that the reality is very different. "The hormones are hell when you're single," she joked. "I'm a very sexual being, and for that reason, sex will be a big part of her next relationship. I suspect that someday down the road, if there's somebody else, then that will be part of it," said Janelle. "I'm a Taurus, and I'm a very earth mama. Everything earthy. Food, wine, sex, all of it." She and Kody have children together. Logan Brown, 31, Madison Brush, 29, Hunter Brown, 28, the late Garrison Brown, 25, Gabriel Brown, 23, and Savannah Brown, 20, but it doesn't mean their sex life was boring. On an episode of Sister Wives in 2023, Janelle hinted that there was definitely physical compatibility, adding that everything was very good in that department. But their 30-year spiritual marriage finally failed. And in December 2022, the couple announced their separation. Janelle blamed the breakup on Kody's strict rules for their kids and his alleged favoritism of his 4th wife, Robin Brown. "If he had truly been watching out for me and my children," Janelle said, "he would have figured out a way to make it work for the whole family instead of having his rules and hanging out with the wife." After their 1990 vows, Kody Brown said he was prepared to separate from his first wife, Mary Brown. But Mary said in the September 15th premiere that he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, "Oh Mary, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us." Referring to their 2018 move as if he had convinced me of those things, "He has been doing this for a very long time." Her main complaint, she said, is his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want, and the story that he's been telling for all these years. Also, Kody admitted that there might have been mixed messages, but only because he added, "I'm like, why would I do this? When he began to work on things, I would not court and date her now." In any case, when Mary finally pulled the plug in early 2023, her friends were happy. They say, "All right, we're backing you in here for you, and it's about darn time." she admitted, because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away. She says, meaning that he had been trying to get her to leave him for years by saying he didn't love her in the season premiere. Kody said that he was prepared to let the idea die, years after the family had bought the 14-acre plot of land in Flagstaff, Arizona, on which they planned to build. Unable to build without paying the entire $820,000 price tag, which the family allegedly did in 2023, he said to Robin Brown, his surviving wife, "I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it and then just start again somewhere else." "I can't talk about that," she said in reference to Robin. "That is so not where I'm at." Janelle Brown, the second wife, previously told News that we just kind of started to grow apart, but in the end, she left because of Kody's shortcomings. As a dad to several of his children, the mom told Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown, "The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it, and I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here." Janelle refused to entertain the possibility of getting back together, even when Kody brought it up in the November 3rd episode. "I don't know how I would ever get back together with him and have him not have a relationship with my kids," she said. "No, I'm going to always choose my kids." That was Kody's reason for not trying harder to patch up the problems he was having with some of his grown children. "I don't fit in the family anymore," he complained in the episode that aired on September 15th. "And then I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent," he said, explaining that he was still totally married to Robin and raising their 5 children together: Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon, and Ariella Brown. "What should I do with all of this?" I asked myself. "It's not a family-like atmosphere. We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage," Robin admitted in the season 19 premiere, even though they were being totally monogamous for the first time in their 14-year marriage. "Between us, things have been difficult. He isn't sure if he or one of the other women is to blame. Are you going to reject me too? Kody seems to be looking at me because he's experiencing a lot of rejection," she consequently said. "I'm on my toes. I have to constantly check to make sure he isn't ruining our connection. There's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces," she said, summarizing the most difficult aspect of confidence: "I love you." Seeing her former sister wives enjoy their new era was difficult for Robin. "They're all moving on," she said on the episode that aired on October 27th. "I feel like the idiot that got left behind." A major turning point in the life of sister wife star Janelle Brown occurred in 2022 when she ended her 29-year spiritual marriage to polygamist Kody Brown. Kody's emotional neglect and his tense interactions with their 6 children, Logan, Madison, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah Brown, were the main causes of her choice to leave. Janelle, who appreciated her independence in the polygamous system, believed that Kody's preference for Robin, his 4th wife, and his lack of involvement with her family made the marriage unworkable. Kody was left with only Robin Brown when Christine Brown left in 2021 and before Mary. Kody, because of their shared experiences and Christine's role in raising Janelle's kids. The Sister Wives season 19 star and Christine's relationship grew stronger as they helped one another through their separations, but their closeness has been hurt by their physical separation. Christine is from Utah and Janelle is from North Carolina. Janelle has complex and distant relationships with Robin and Mary. Janelle has focused on building her relationships with her girlfriends since she was split from her sister wives. To find out more about Janelle's social network, continue reading. Given their lack of closeness throughout their joint marriage to Kody, Janelle and Christine's strengthened, which were emphasized in Sister Wives season 19. Janelle is logical and stoic, but Christine is driven by emotion. Janelle's realistic outlook contrasted with Christine's romantic nature. As Kody's most jealous wife, Christine battled envy, while Janelle, who was the least jealous, respected her freedom and enjoyed Kody's occasional absence. Christine, meanwhile, frequently felt ignored and neglected by his sporadic focus. There was no greater contrast between the two women. Their separate lives were a major contributing factor to Janelle and Christine's lack of closeness during their marriages to Kody. The Brown family relied on Janelle as their main provider, although she was frequently away at work. On the other hand, while the other adults were at work, Christine accepted the job of stay-at-home mother and took main responsibility for raising the Brown children. It took a lot of money to support such a large family, which kept Janelle busy. The two ladies seldom ever spent time together due to their different personalities, which further hurt the Sister Wives season 19 star's ability to develop a close relationship. Janelle and Christine developed a closer bond after splitting from Kody, spending the holidays with their kids. The Sister Wives Season 19 cast members continue to be close, even though they now live far apart. Christine gave Janelle 25-year-old son Garrison Brown. The strong bond between Janelle and Christine, which is based on shared experiences and concern for one another, lasts despite time and space, showing a deep connection that never dies. Robin and Janelle have a strained and distant relationship. Whereas Janelle and Mary have a friendly one, Robin rarely sees Janelle, who split from Kody in 2022, preferring to focus on her family and independence. Janelle feels that Robin and Kody mistreated her kids during the COVID-19 pandemic, which is the root of their tense relationship. Kody and his fourth wife ended up cutting off contact with some of the older children because they were so strict about virus prevention. Robin hoped that Kody and Janelle would be able to get back together, but it appears that ship has sailed. Robin's problems with Janelle were made worse by her inconsistent storytelling during Sister Wives Season 19, which undermined family trust. She frequently made matters worse by trying to fix Kody's tense relationships with his adult children. Especially with Janelle's and Christine's children, there was a lot of anger among Kody's older children since they frequently believed Robin's children were given special treatment by their father by 2025. Robin is still Kody's only wife and leads a monogamous life after Mary. Janelle and Christine have all left him. Janelle was a member of a large clan. While she and Kody were still married, there was never a lack of people around. Kody, who at his peak had 4 wives and 18 children, the multiple lifestyle was abandoned. By Janelle, when she left Kody, Janelle liked polygamy more than her sister wives did. It was difficult for her to go because she enjoyed the way of life. Janelle has had to establish new social ties with people outside of her former family since she started living on her own. The Sister Wives Season 19 star has been hanging out with her girlfriends more and more lately. Let us know in your comments and stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.